Hey all, Farmer Dre back at us another cold, wet fall day here on the farm. I'm out here in the high tunnel, and today I'm going to share with you guys how I keep my tomato garden 100% weed free. If y'all been following my channel for a while, you guys know that we plant a lot of tomatoes here on our farm, especially in these high tunnels, and that's our main crop we grow on our farm. So we have 3 on this part of our farm, and then we have another one on the other side of the farm. And we mainly grow tomatoes, but in here, we did grow a few cucumbers towards the end of the season. But with all these different crops, the biggest issue that I resolved over the year and figured out that I don't have to put too much energy in it is keeping them 100% weed free and not having to focus on the weed side of things to produce a crop. I'd rather just put all the focus and energy into growing the crop. So in today's video, I'm gonna get into the easiest way and the fastest way to keep your gardens and your production systems 100% weed free. I'm gonna jump right into it. So the easiest way to have a 100% weed free garden or farm is to use plastic mulch, or if you use landscaping fabric like I do in here. As you can see in here, don't look at the cucumber plants that are done for. I gotta come through, clean this up. But over the past 3 years, I've been using this landscaping fabric. It's 15.5 foot wide. So this tunnel right here is 30 foot wide. So then we overlap in the middle, and then we just burn holes where the tomato plants go, and that's it. So that's the way of making your garden or my high tunnel here on our farm 100% weed free. I fought weeds too many times in my life, and I gave up. And if you're a farmer that knows how to fight weeds properly, then, you know, kudos to you, great job. But me, I can't focus all my energy on keeping my just a certain particular part of the farm weed free. We got 35 acres of other stuff, other fruit production side of things going on. So my main goal here on the farm is to produce a beautiful crop and not really worry about other things. So that's why I use this landscaping fabric to keep all the weeds down. But in my first year growing tomatoes here on our farm, out of this tunnel in particular, back in 2018, I didn't know that weeds can be such an issue. So we came in here, planted a bunch of cucumbers and tomatoes. I think I had 1 row of cucumbers and like 6 rows of tomatoes. And the weeds got out of control. We were pushing the tomato plants with fertilizer and water. We had the drip tape going on here. And the tomato plants were doing really good and producing a nice crop. But the weeds really thrived because it was, you know, it had no suppression, nothing stopping them. And I remember it was a 4th of July. It was around 4th of July, I think the week after or the week before. I'm not really sure. But it was really hot in here. The weeds are taller than me. 7 foot tall weeds, and I just got sick of it. So I came in here with my push mower and started pushing weeds, mowing down the weeds by hand, and it was a pain. And I was like, you know what? I gotta change the way I grow tomatoes, or I gotta do something about these weeds. And if the weeds take over, then I'm never gonna have a good tomato crop. So my first year doing it, or after that, so in 2018, there was no fabric, there was no plastic down there. It was just bare dirt with tomato plants, like you see in many people's gardens. And it was a pain. And then in 2019, I used plastic mulch or film. It's the 1.5 ounce or 1.25 ounce thickness. It's the same fabric or the same plastic we use for our strawberries. If you guys seen any of my strawberry videos, you guys know it's the plastic mulch we put down. I use that. But the bad thing was about that, it was only in 4 foot wide sections. You can also get in 5 foot wide sections. But wherever the plants were, there was weed free. But in between the rows, I didn't put anything down. So a lot of weeds were growing there. And then in 2020 was the first year I used this landscaping fabric, and it works great. It keeps everything about 99% weed free. I said 100%. But if you're not careful, you can allow some weeds to grow right next to the hole. So we come in here with a torch and we get a round circle, either pipe fitting, about 4-inch pipe fitting, 3-inch pipe fitting, or just some metal, and then we just burn a hole where all the plants go. And if you're not careful, then you can allow a few weeds to grow. But just pull those out once or twice a season, and that's it. It goes pretty quick. But yeah, keeping your garden weed free is a very, very important task, just because you want all the energy to grow to the crop you're growing and not to the weed. And like me, we're really busy when it comes to the summer months, so I don't have the time and energy to focus on pulling weeds. I'd rather just come in here, do my job of growing the crop, fertilize, water, and then walk away and not have to worry about other issues like weeds. And same thing with our other crops, even in the orchard and the strawberries with the blackberries and blueberries. Same thing, we use plastic mulch or the fabric to keep all the weeds away. And it's the easiest way to do it. And the nice thing about this landscaping fabric, it's good for many, many years. Like I said, this is my 3rd season, or my 2nd season using it. So it's good for as long as we don't have any big tears in it, it's good for many years to come. When it comes to weed control, the biggest thing is you got to understand and know what weeds you're fighting. And yes, I agree with this to a certain point whenever you are using any kind of a chemical or herbicides to prevent, because there are grasses and broadleafs you got to take care of. But whenever you are using the fabric, it just smothers down the plants. So the way and the reason why this works so well, and the plastic mulch out in the orchard or out in the berry farm, so what it does, the plastic or the fabric is right up against the dirt, and the soil temperature about a couple inches lower is a 1 or 2 degrees warmer. So the weeds do germinate. Those seedlings do germinate, and they do pop out of the seed. But the thing is, it gets so hot and they have no light that they go ahead and die inside the dirt without ever coming up. So that's why it works so effectively. If you do allow a little bit of gap to grow in between, or a little air gap in between the plastic, you will get weeds growing in between. So make sure that the fabric is all the way down to the ground, touching the dirt close as possible, because if not, you will have a lot of issues. That's why on the edges here, my dirt's a little lower than my baseboard, so when I go through and staple, there's a little bit of gap in between on the edges, so that's there's a little bit of weeds growing there. But that's kind of the theory and the science behind why the plastic or the fabric works so well. Is it doesn't allow the weeds to continue to develop. It kills them right away whenever they do germinate. All it is, fabric, burnt holes, plant your crop. That's it. This can work with any crop you have. Tomatoes, peppers, squashes, pumpkins, anything. This fabric does work wonders, and it works. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. Alright, y'all, that's gonna be it for today, and that's how I keep my garden or tomato plants weed free and no weeds next to them. And like I said, we get to focus all the energy on the crop and not have to worry about the weeds. Alright, y'all, this is it for today. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and check out FarmerDreSupply.com. That's where you're able to find all your gardening and greenhouse needs, from tomato seeds, some sunflower seeds, any kind of seeds you guys want, irrigation systems to fertilizer. Go and check it out. Like always, a link is down in the description box below. This is gonna be it for today. If you guys haven't already, go and hit that subscribe button, smash that like button if you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I do upload a video. I want to say thanks for watching up to this point. Y'all have a good day, and we will see you next time.